Hi, welcome to Politics Knoxville, the Campfield interviews. As you know, I'm probably interviewing all of the senatorial candidates running for the 6th senatorial seat. Today's candidate is Victoria DeFreese. Victoria, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be in this race. I just announced this last week, and I'm really excited to represent the working class, and I'm just really excited to be on board. So I know that there's some questions that the public has, and I know that these interviews will be really informative for you. And if you have further questions, I am available. I've got a website up and running. It's going to be modified soon. It's victoriadefreese.com. So.
Well, thank you. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Victoria.
Okay. Well, I graduated in 1998 from Johnson University, which is at that time was Johnson Bible College, and I worked as a satellite program instructor thereafter for about a year and a half, 2 years out in West Knoxville. And then I took 10 years and stayed home and homeschooled my 4 children. And during that time, I did a lot of civic duty. I did a lot of leadership in my community, helped with the John Sevier site, which is the first governor home place of Tennessee. I have worked in the Knox County Republican Party, been a delegate and a vice chair for my precinct. And I've just done a lot of community work with 4-H and with Reader's Theater, with our local libraries. I served on the Knox County Library Board for a period of time in Knox County. That's an advisory board. We're the only advisory board in the whole state. And I also served as a Knox County Commissioner for 7 months, and have served on land use concept studies with Metropolitan Planning Commission. So in the 10 years that I was working with my children, I really learned a lot and served a lot, and it was a great experience.
Well,
Then just finished up with public school, 6th grade teacher, language and reading, so out at Whittle Springs, which is inner
You're
city.
teaching.
Teaching,
okay.
public school, yes.
Okay, well, thank you. Well, we're going to get right into it. Get right into asking you the hard questions that people may or may not know or want to know. First, we're going to start with economic development.
Okay.
Would you support changing the gas tax to a % of sale price versus a set amount per gallon? Right now, it's 21 cents per gallon if it's $2 a gallon of gas, or $4 a gallon of gas. Some people think we should change that to a % of the sale price. Would you be in favor of changing it to a % of the sale price?
Wow, if we change it to a % of the sales price, then depending on the cost of gas, that could really increase the revenue or it could decrease the revenue. You know, I think I would probably just have to wager and just hear what people have to say about that.
Okay. I mean, that's a tough one, and a lot of people, that's one a lot of people would like to hear both sides on. Would you support toll roads?
Toll roads, at least with toll roads, you do have the benefit of those who are using it paying for it. At the same time, you know, I know that those can be very unpopular when that becomes a road that someone frequents a lot, and there's other roads that, you know, I would like to know the difference. Why would you have a toll road as opposed to, you know, those are questions that you may not be able to answer,
Yeah.
but those are questions that I would ask.
Well, some people like the idea of maybe there's not enough money to build a road or a bridge to somewhere, and therefore they would say, okay, let's do it, but we'll make it a toll road. Other people think that toll roads go forever and ever and never get paid off, and they're just another tax or fee.
I would think that that would be very site-specific for me. I would have to know, you know, I would have to hear, obviously, for the most important factor to me would be the community in which and who is advocating the toll road. If it was the citizens, you know, I would obviously listen to the citizens and what they said about that. But to me, that would be site-specific.
Okay. Would you support or carry legislation for a local tax or fee increase, or a tax or fee increase in other areas?
No, no, I would not.
Would you support or carry legislation for a statewide fee or tax increase?
No.
Sales tax breaks for interstate internet employees such as Amazon have been part of a deal that Amazon has. Maybe you've heard about the Amazon deal.
Yes.
Amazon never has to charge sales tax in Tennessee for in-state sales in the state. Other retailers like Barnes & Noble and now Amazon's getting into selling everything like bicycles and clothing.
Yes.
Don't like them having that unfair advantage. Would you support doing tax breaks for on sales tax for?
No.
Okay.
I would not.
Okay. Is economic development or economic enhancement a valid reason to take private land through eminent domain?
No.
Education. Do you support is a big issue, I'm sure,
Oh,
for
yeah.
being a teacher. Do you support school choice for children in failing schools?
Yes,
How about allowing vouchers to go to private schools?
absolutely.
How about state testing of homeschool students?
No.
Should education requirements and curricula be uniform and set by the state or set by teachers and the local school boards?
I think keeping everything local would be best.
Okay. How about the ability for homeschool students to participate in state school functions such as sports, band, and in some classes, but maybe not others?
Absolutely.
Okay. How about an elected or appointed school board superintendent?
I would have to say that I would go for elected. I think that the state of Tennessee has too many appointments, and I think the superintendent especially should be one for the community's choice.
Okay. How about a set statewide school start date, or should the start date of schools be set by the locals?
I think give more power to the local people.
Okay. How about teacher evaluation scores? Should they be accessible to the families, or should those scores be closed?
I believe that families should be able to see those scores. At the same time, I believe that if they're going to see the scores, then they need to know exactly how those scores were generated. And I believe that the teacher should also have a way to have a message, in reflection of those scores as well.
Okay. With limited education resources, obviously everybody's going to say, I'd like to spend more on education in every aspect of education. In some situations, it's not like that. It's sort of an either or in the cases I'm going to give you, I'm sort of asking where you would put your priorities. Obviously, you're not saying, hey, I hate one over the other, but with limited dollars, I would prefer focusing on one area or the other. So
Okay.
the next bunch of questions is going to be, where would you place your priority in funding? Would you support more teachers in the classroom or teacher raises?
That is tough. I am always an advocate for teachers in the classroom. At the same time, I know that teachers don't make enough of enough, but I would be an advocate of more opportunities for employment, so I think more teachers in the classroom.
Okay. Pre-K funding or teacher raises?
Teacher raises. Teacher raises.
Pre-K or school infrastructure?
School infrastructure.
Funding more pre-K or K through 12?
K through 12.
Should money go for higher ed, or would you let colleges raise fees or cut spending and instead spend the money on K through 12? So more or less higher ed or K through 12.
Well, I just think that, let's see, K-12, there is no other option for revenue for them except for, at least with the higher ed, they do have other programs that they can get funding from. Although I don't want to see opportunity lost or, because of tuition hikes. That's a tough one. But I would have to say that, I would have to go with K-12.
Okay. With lottery surpluses, would you support more pre-K or more scholarships?
More scholarships.
Would you lower scholarship standards, thus allowing in more students, or would you increase the amount of money for each scholarship?
I would think that involving more students would be my choice.
So more scholarships. Okay. Do you think lottery scholarships should be based on merit or financial need?
Wow. Financial need, how do you determine that?
Say a child is coming from a poor family, they should get a more easy access to a scholarship versus maybe someone who had better scores but comes from a more affluent family.
I would think financial need.
Okay. Second Amendment. Second Amendment, gun rights is always very important to a lot of Republican primary voters. Do you support allowing legally permitted handgun owners to carry in state parks,
Yes.
in schools or universities?
Universities, yes.
Okay.
Schools, I would
That's
have
when
to,
I should have been more clear.
Yeah,
I just
I would
really
have
meant
to-
just more universities, colleges, that sort of
colleges,
thing.
universities, yes.
Okay.